for the gift of life, especially wisdom, values, attitudes, skills. I truly appreciate all the things that you do for taking care of us, for protecting us from any danger. I hope you will guide us to whatever endeavors that we want, or every one of us wants. And I hope these things that we ask will turn something valuable or fruitful in the future. These we ask through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good afternoon, everyone. So we are from the group one, I believe. So I'll be your first reporter for today. And is Fiona around? Hello, Fiona.
Yes, ate.
Baka-record ka, Fiona?
Yes, ate. Ako nag-start
Yes, ate.
kaniya pag-prayer.
Yes, ate. Ako nag-start kaniha pag-prayer.
Thank you so much, Dai. Nels, please go sa PPT. Thank you so much. So I want everyone to participate during our discussion kay I'll be taking down notes. Thank you. Excuse me, Nels. Alright. Presenting the thank you, Nels. Alright, so since we are done from the previous members or their topic, so let's proceed with global and multicultural literacy. So to start with, next slide, please. So here are the intended learning outcomes. So first, we will be discussing the global and multicultural literacy, illustrate the global competence framework, explain the dimension of multiculturalism, elucidate global understanding, present effective ways and how to integrate global multiculturalism in the lesson using appropriate delivery strategies, instructional materials, and assessment tools. Next slide, please. And then draw relevant life lessons and significant values from personal experience, demonstrating multicultural literacy, analyze research abstract on global multicultural literacy and its implications on the teaching, learning process, draft relevant policy in addressing multiculturalism in school. So we will going to dissect those intended learning outcomes. So next slide, please. So, what is multicultural literacy? So, I want someone to read and explain the term all about. So I'll be, um, you can raise your hands if you want to answer or participation. I'll be taking down notes. So check. Moment. So we have K. Francis. Can you read
Yes,
the
yes. Okay, so
Okay, so
cultural literacy.
cultural
Okay, please ako
is
option mo.
about
Okay, thank you, Te. So, multicultural literacy, it consists of the skills and ability to identify two creators of knowledge and their interests by Banks, 1996, and it reveals the assumptions of knowledge to view knowledge from direct ethnic and cultural perspective, and to use knowledge to guide action that will create a humane and just world by Boet, 2008. So my understanding about multicultural literacy is that it enables us to comprehend and understand different kanang cultural identities, cultural um, techniques or cultural strategies that each people are kanang practicing into. And also the multicultural literacy, this gives us the knowledge of how a person behave or where he or she came from. And in this way, we are able to respect and be diverse be a diverse person in terms of respecting different cultures and ethnicities.
wow, very comprehensive, no? Murag, grabe, murag na-explain na good ni Kay Francis. And thank you so much for your kuanday kanang participation. So that's right. Multi cultural literacy tackles about kana ganing like different walks of life, how we will going to appreciate them regardless of the gender, of the backgrounds that we came from, because we all know that every one of us kanang are unique, right? We came from different backgrounds, and we differ from one place to another, one people to another, or one group to another. So that's it. So we will going to understand, no, not only multicultural literacy, but of course global, way we could solve issues, not only focusing on the differences that we have, but also global issues consisting political, social, any other issues that our society is facing. So let's proceed with the next slide, please. So global literacy. So I want someone to read the term, please, and explain. All right, we have first we have Monton. Can you read?
Okay, Meg.
okay,
So, gl- okay, okay. Okay. Global literacy. It aims to address issues of
Nels,
globalization.
excuse me.
Yes, Fion.
Pasudla sa assist, sir. I-admit sa assist, sir.
Na naka-join na si Sir. Nam
Naka-join naman to siya ganiha.
Oh, na left siya.
balik daw, balik daw. Ako siya admit. Ay, na left si Sir. Murag, ma-out siya. Lang ha. Adala na join na si Sir. Balik na ta.
Okay, sige.
okay, sige.
Okay, Sir.
Isa pa report ko ha. Isa to report ganiha si Madam,
Yumagi,
ikaw
sir.
yung magi? Ah, sige. Padayon. Ah, sige, before we start the event, palakpakan sana to si Kuandoy si kisa ni Villegas, no? Siya nakadaog sa co-ed.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Padayon. Linaw po.
Okay.
Right? You can start. Thank you.
Yes. Global literacy, it aims to address issues of globalization, racism, diversity, and social justice by Go 2014. It aims to empower students with knowledge and take action to make a positive impact in the world and their local community by Go 2014. So my understanding about global literacy talks about that we people with different culture, with different culture background, we are connected as one. We are kanang, even though nata sa lain-laing lugar, kanang we are kanang connected rata ba through um for example sa atong pag-communicate, sa ato ang kanang sa ato ang kanang pag export and import sad, mao na akong pagsabot sa global literacy.
Thank you so much, Rihanna. But to expound further, global literacy, it is the skills, the abilities, the attitudes, the values that we need to possess in order to address issues of globalization. So as we all know, in this 21st century, a lot of technologies are um, developing and um, accompanied by problems, issues that we are actually surrounded by. So global literacy, it aims for us to know better what we can do, what we can do in order to solve these issues, not only for gender, for racism, but also the political, social, economic, and so on. So that's global literacy, no. So, I have a question. Na why do you think that the school needs to promote global literacy? Why is that? So I want someone to answer that question so that we can proceed to the next topic. So why do you think that a school needs to promote global literacy? All right, we have Kabusa.
Okay, so global literacy is an understanding. Excuse me, Nick. Okay, so global literacy, no, go on,
I
is important for the student with awareness of the possibilities and constraints facing the world's people. Students who are globally literate are able to think critically about the world and the role that they play in it. Maora.
Wow, perfect. That's right, no? Because the school is where we develop learners that can respect, that can make a huge difference in this world. Because it is where we can learn how to be interculturally sensitive, which means nga we respect other culture, we respect other people's perspective, and other people's belief or point of views in life. So mao na siya kanang di ata maka-learn a lot of things which we can apply in a real life situation, right? Am I right or right?
Yes.
So let's proceed with the next slide, please. So global competence is a multidimensional capacity It refers to skills, values, and behaviors that prepare young people to thrive in a diverse, interconnected, and changing world. So, why do we need to be globally competent individual? So that's my question. Why do we need to be globally competent individual? Anyone? So actually, these topics are just interconnected. So I just want you to, to we need to dig deeper for us to better understand. So I believe Nelia is raising her hand. Please.
Okay, so I believe that we should be or we should become a globally competitive individual so that we can meet the needs and the demands of the changing world, and we cannot just be kanang stagnant gani dili lang ta mo stick to our traditional ways. We have to adapt so that we can be globally competent to meet the
That's right.
needs and standards.
Right, Nelia. I agree, no? Because, usara jud ang constant in this world, which is change. So everything is fleeting, time is fleeting, unsa pa na fleeting diha, basta ang isa ra jud, ang constant ra jud is change. So we need to adapt, to be flexible enough that diha na nato ma-apply atong learning skills because everything is changing, regardless or whether we like it or not. So that's how the world works, and that's the reality. So, all right, so let's proceed. So take note, no, kaning global competence, it's a combination siya sa skills, values, attitudes, and knowledge. Just like I mentioned earlier, I will just going to reiterate because I believe it is very useful. Mo na siya ang combination of the four uh, terms or aspects para ma-apply na to siya on how to solve problems in real life scenarios. That's right. That's right, Ibanias. Cubs. Perfect. So, next slide, please. So, these four concepts or the need for global competence in order for us to thrive in this changing world. First, to live harmoniously in multicultural community. So why so nganong kailangan man ni nato um um like education for global competence, like makaunsa man ni siya, what can it bring to us as an individual, as a citizen in our country? So I want someone to understand the concept to live harmoniously in multicultural communities. All right, it will bring peace. Genevieve, I want you to please
Yes.
open your mic.
Definitely.
I believe you have
Yes. Tara, okay na. First need for global competence is to live harmoniously in multicultural community. So for me, we need from the word harmonious, no, we need to unite, no, as a citizen in our country, and we need to
Unsa man uy klase pa ko ato tawag ni anak ka. Oh, naputol ang na.
education
friend.
for global competence, makapromote siya o cultural awareness, makaresolve tag conflicts. Because ani man gud na siya, if we don't have the knowledge, it can like somehow create conflicts, right? So the example is, if we should be very careful, no, in the words we utter, because somehow that term you're using might offend someone. So if you have this competence, if you are competent enough, then you know what to use, you know what culture you are into para ma-maintain na to ang peace and harmony, right? So let's proceed to number two, to thrive in a changing labor market. And I want someone to raise their hand and answer, or like explain what you understand to thrive in a changing labor market. So nganong kailangan man nato ning education for global competence. Okay, si Bial?
Okay, so to thrive, iko ate. Okay, so to thrive in a changing labor market is the need for global competence. So as all we know that um, changing is inevitable, right? So na dyan na dili jud kanang ang labor market mo di siya kana mo focus ra sa kana nga nahitabo. So na changes. So it is the need for global competence because to succeed in changing job market, so we must be embrace lifelong learning. So dapat mo embrace ta og lifelong learning for us nga maka easily adopt or maka easily maka easily adapt ta sa changing in the labor market. So mo na siya.
That's right, no, because education for global competence, it can boost employability because you have the knowledge, you have the skill, you have the values, you have the attitudes, um, eh, the skill in a way that using technology, because you know technology is very useful in our society right now, and actually it's overrated, overused. So in order for you to succeed in a specific field, you have to adapt, um, and also no, it can connect us not only in within our country but also in outside, because you know we have BPO, which is business processing outsourcing, which call centers are more likely working to, you know, to to um, to earn a living, and that's very important. Education is very important for us, not only for us, for ourselves, but for our family and the future we want to build, right? So the third one is we have to use media platform effectively and responsibly. Kani siya no kay pirmi na dyan siyang gabalik-balik, and it has been overly used. So I want someone to explain to use media platform effectively and responsibly. So any okay, we have Norman.
So, madog ako. Um,
Yes, Norman.
okay, thank you. So, to use media platform effectively and responsibly. So, we all know that media platform is so broad. So if we don't know how to use the media platform in the global competence, so that's yung mga negative effects. So, ang aim man sa global competence now to that so will be educated para makibalota on how to use these different uh, media platforms. Para sa
Wow, very comprehensive. That's right, Norman, because to use media platforms effectively, actually kanang I believe I already mentioned this to you. We don't own things on us. It is because these technologies that we have, we carry them so much in our back to the point nga wa kanang mata na to sa buntag, before ta matulog, pirmi ang technology naa sa tong kilid, right? And also we abuse technology and or some media platforms and use this in, you know, in committing crimes, in any fraudulent activities like phishing, napay scamming. So in order for us to be an effective citizen and individual, we should use media responsibly and effectively. Use it in a positive way. And also no kanang using media sad, um it can one side it can motivate attackers or scammers because our personal information are out in the open. So which means nga it can be taken as right there and then because the information is already in our kuan, right, in our profile, which we can see in Facebook, Instagram, and any other social media platforms. And also it can be used to spread fake news, spread lies, because and also no, if you are competent enough, you should know how to differentiate between facts and baseless information or fake news. Because sometimes magod we as an individual, I am guilty to that. Kanang if na ay gani fake news, dali kita mo kagat. Yeah, without knowing what is right. Yeah, that's right. Netiquette. So kuan kanang dali kita makuan, kanang dali kita ma victim, and we focus on the baseless information, and that baseless information can be taken against us, right? So yeah, that's you know social media technologies are very dangerous, but if you have the knowledge, the skill, the values, the attitudes, it can really help you to flourish. So we have the fourth, to support the sustainable development goals. So um, how do you understand that? This to support the sustainable development goals. I want somebody, I believe, um, yes, we have Ibanez.
um, in the need of our global Philippines is to support the sustainable development goals because through this it can lessen or end the human negativities in human aspects such as poverty or the hunger. And if we support the sustainable development goals, it shall promotes the positive impact because it ends the negativities to the human aspect such as kato akong giingon ganiha. That's why it is very important in the global competence.
Wow, perfect. That's right, because to support the sustainable development, which means we can form a new generation which cares about the global issues in our community, and we can also engage in an open discussion which can provide solutions or reinforcement kung saan na to na siya pagsikop ana nga, sorry utsa nga, wait, sorry, unsa na to pag kuan ana nga kanang problem. So that's how it is to support the sustainable development goals. So thank you so much. So that's Ibanez, no? Let's proceed to the dimensions of global competence implication to education. Next slide, please. So move kay I cannot see clearly. So first we have examine issues of local, global, and cultural significance. Unsa the implication ani dimension 1, examine issues of local, sorry, and global cultural significance. I believe si Labrador is raising her hand earlier. Megs,
What's that
do you
main
have
question,
any
Megs?
koan?
What's that main question?
How do you understand examine issues of local, global, and cultural significance?
Ano na ako siya sa
Ano na
implication?
ako sa application?
Alright. So I
Alright.
think
So I
examine issues of
examine
local
of
and
local,
cultural significance
global,
is
and
one of the
one of
integration to education.
the application to education
Ikaw sa Megs.
or equal something.
Ay, sorry, Mix, go ahead. I'm sorry, moving on.
Okay. Issues of local, global, and culture. Sa giingon pa nila nga no, na we have different kanang koan, different perspective, and this in this dimension it implies to address
the issues of local, global, and cultural significance. It enable us to understand and kanang kuan gani and to find the solution kanang sa atong mga kuan sa mga issues around the world.
Mm, that's right,
Yes.
no, because if we practice effectively utilizing our
Yes. Mauna.
knowledge about the issues, kung ano ka na magamit to ang higher order thinking skills, unsaon na to pag-assess sa problems, unsaon na to pag-solve sa problems, which can create uh, a great world we can live in. So that's how it is. So thank you so much for your kanang participation. It's very comprehensive. How about dimension 2? Understand and appreciate the perspective and worldviews of others. Shiny? Ke- Shiny.
Yes, te.
Yes.
Okay, so second, dimension two is understand and appreciate the perspectives and worldviews of others. So di ba we kanang di magita ingon nga kabalo sa tanan or we don't have the knowledge sa tanan gyud. So we must understand kung unsay perspective sa uban, kung unsay ilang views um kanang globally competent people no kay kailangan willing and capable ta o to understand others, to understand their views, to understand their perspective. Ingana. Nakamute ka te.
Nakamute ka ate.
So, kanang globally competent people are willing and capable to understand other people's opinion, other people's views about something. More na gani siya, kani nga dimension, people are able to ganing bridge the gap between two different worlds. So, since we came from different backgrounds, makabridge gani ta because we have that knowledge, attitude, the values nga which can be a bridge to a harmonious way of living. That's it. So makabridge na siya. And how about number 3, engage in open, appropriate, and effective interactions across cultures, manapsal.
Madungog ra ko te. So engage in open, appropriate, and effective interactions across culture. So it's very kung ano masabtan na sabot self-explanatory, but to expound more, kanang the ability or being able to engage with other people, with other people that have different perspectives, different world views sa inyong giingon ganina, and kanang coming from different cultures. Of course, let's say for example, kanang sina you are being able to kanang interact with the other people without disrespecting their culture ba. Let's say for example, naman jud tay lahi-lahi nga kanang culture nga gikan. Let's say for example, dito sa Germany, they know how to they know ang pagsikma is very normal sa ilaha. Let's say for example, naka sa restaurant and everyone is eating and you are kanang kasikmahon ka. It's very normal for them nga musikma ra ka diha, bahalag na nagkaon sa mga tubangan. It's normal for them, but to us, kung manikma lang kag kalit diha niya kanang nagkaon pa jud na ka sa restaurant, and then kanang we all know nga ludon ang tao, but kanang ing ana ba being able to kanang kabalo taon saon pag respond, no, being globally competent, we know how to respond in such kanang singa ni such practice sa uban cultures. Thank you.
Perfect. That's correct, Manapsal, because kani man gud si Dimension 3, it emphasized that individual has the capacity to interact with other people, other culture. Actually, we have three cultural variation, right? We have the um, cultural relativism, the ethnocentrism, the sinocentrism. Although that's besides the point, that it can actually be it can actually be accompanied with this topic. Um, so as I want someone to explain asa sa tulo, asa nilang tulo ma-apply ang dimension 3. Anyone? Si Garciano. Garciano.
Okay, ate. So, for me, dimension 3, ate, no? Ay. Okay, so for me, I think ma-apply siya sa cultural relativism wherein you need to understand someone's culture or others' culture before judging them. So, people as we are, we know nga kusog kay tamang judge, but in a view of cultural relativism, you have to understand and examine why such practice is kanang considered ethical in that kanang culture. That's all,
No,
ate.
kanang that's right. It should be cultural relativism because culture differs from society to society, from one place to another, from one culture to another. So cultural relativism. So let's proceed with dimension 4. Sorry, kadi kay ko kakita. Take action for development, collective well-being and sustainability. So I want someone to explain what you understand on dimension 4. Pantilio.
Thank you so much for that, Miss Yumage. So, in Dimension 4, which is the take action for development, collective well being, and sustainability. So, in this dimension, we, as a student now and as a future teacher, we were going to provide make our students ready to take actions to local, and global, local, or intercultural issues in the world. Using the other like social medias and other platforms, and also have a reflective actions towards the issues. Diba, we talked a while ago about um, using the media responsibly. So during the pita, they are now able to kanang use this to be a responsible citizen in society, and also to really to be a functional uh, to be a functional citizen in our society. Kay they already can for them to be able to sustain the well-being of for everyone. They have the mind to really think for the actions that they are going to do to solve such issues in local or global issues. Yeah.
Correct. You got it right. So, unsa to na ni comment kanang youth as a responsible members of the society. Certainly, it is because as a 21st century learner, we have the capacity since we are ko ano no kanang we are digital native. So we have the life skill, the learning skills, the literacy skills that we can apply to respond any social or global issues. So kani man gud siya is like we individuals or students have the opportunity nga um, they can engage para ma-improve ang living condition. They can build a just, inclusive, peaceful, and environmentally sustainable world. Because anak man to si Muhammad Gandhi, actually nasulti na nila ko ninyo nga, if ganahan mo changes, be the change you want to see the world. So it should start within ourselves because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, kita ra Japo naghimo sa ato ang destiny. Isabihin pa mo naniwala pa mong destiny na ara sa itong mga kamutanan. So we are just making our own kuan kanang story. So that's it. I hope you understand. No? If you have question, clarification, you may raise that so that we can tackle that right now before we can proceed to the next topic. Na po may questions? Clarifications? I guess wala na.
That's all for today.
So let's proceed to Claire Ann. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Madungog ra ko sa inyong end.
Yes, that's
Yes, Claire.
clear.
So, good afternoon again. So, sa ako ang discussion, we will talk about...
Yes, Claire.
Ah, okay, thank you. We will talk about the two components on the assessment strategy for global competence. Second, the curriculum for global competence, global understanding, and then the last one is the pedagogies for promoting global competence. So, let's start with our discussion. So there are two components on the assessment strategy for global competence. The PISA means Program for International Student Assessment. So the PISA 2018 assessment of global competence contributes development while considering different challenges and limitations. So these assessment measures students' capacity to examine local, global, and intercultural issues to engage in open, appropriate, and effective interaction with people from different cultures. So nakita ninyo, mo ni ang the two components on the assessment strategy for global competence. So who can read the first component? Okay, Miss Ria Ann Monton, please read.
Number one. A cognitive test exclusively focused on the construct of global understanding.
Okay, thank you for reading, Ms. Monton. So sa kanina assessment, it highlights on testing the knowledge and understanding of a student with regards to the global issues circulating. And by this, an individual's global understanding and how globally competent an individual is being measured. So cognitive test is gamiton ani sa teacher. Second is a set of questionnaire items collecting self-reported information on students' awareness on global issues and cultures, skills and attitudes, as well as information from schools and teachers on activities that promote global competence. So these are set of questionnaires given by the teacher in which it collects information. It, it collects information on the students about his or her awareness on the global issues and the cultures globally. So a global citizen should be aware and understand that the wider world or the different issues globally. So and being globally aware can help the world on becoming a sustainable and fairer. So let's proceed to the next slide. And now let's talk about the curriculum for global competence. The knowledge, these are the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values. Next slide, please. So the schools can give or provide opportunities for students to explore with the global issues na nga na-encounter nila through media and through their own experiences. So they provide this for domains sa knowledge. These are culture and intercultural relation, socio-economic development and interdependence. The third one is environmental sustainability. And then the fourth one is global institutions, conflicts, and human rights. So I have a question. Why do you think that we need to include these four domains of knowledge? So we need to include these four knowledge of we need to include these four domains of knowledge in the curriculum. Anyone? So again, my question is, why do we need to focus or teach these four domains of knowledge or include this in the curriculum? Okay, wala. Okay, Miss Shirley.
I guess Megs, to create a globally sustainable world as well as inclusive, because we know we came from different background, as I've mentioned earlier, and also this economic social development, interdependence, environmental, global institutions are actually interconnected. Not only we focus on the social, cultural, or the multicultural we have, but also the social, uh, what they call this, the global issues or intercultural situation, because everyone of us came from different walks of life, something ano.
Okay, thank you, Miss Shirley. So by teaching these four domains, students can ano pa yung hatag Miss Ibanez, napa kayo ma-share?
In addition lang sa kang atli, because these domains, if we apply it to the curriculum, kay kanang helpful siya sa kanang life sa usa ka person, because in these domains are kanang nag-give og kanang information that is really applicable to the everyday life of the people. Mao na.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ibanez. So, sakto ilang mga gipang storya. So, these four kay importante in becoming a global competent individual. So, again, these four domains, the students can acquire knowledge by reflecting on their own cultural identity and also sa ilahang peers through analyzing common stereotypes towards other people in their cultural conflict, and having this knowledge about having having knowledge about this is very important sa pagdevelop sa values such as peace, respect, equality, fairness, and acceptance. So let's proceed to the next slide. Di pa magulta mo. The global competence is supported by the knowledge of global issues that affect lives locally and global and around the globe, and as well as the intercultural differences among individuals. So, in order to avoid the intolerance and oversimplified representation of the world, there are different strategies on this. And the first one is perspective taking. So, who can read the meaning of perspective taking and give understanding on it? Okay, Mr. Zablan.
Madungog ra.
Yes, can.
Perspective taking refers to the cognitive and social skills of understanding how other people think and feel. So perspective taking, and it refers to a person's ability to consider a situation from different point of view. For example, it also requires individuals to put example it requires you to put yourself in other person's situation, then it enables individuals to know and understand other person's feelings, thoughts, and their viewpoints also. Marana. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comprehensive answer, Mr. Zablan. Sorry na, Miss. Nanoon. So, mao to siya. Sakto, si Ken. Ang perspective taking is the best way. So, for us to fully understand someone's feeling, we have to put ourselves sa ilahang situation. So, mao na ang perspective taking. Next is adaptability. So, who can read?
Hello everyone. Padung na mag-end. 2 minutes na lang. Please create a new link. Para di ang puto lang discussion.
Sir, yes, sir. Nanay na-create, sir.
Okay, sir.
Sige, leave sa talib.
Okay, sir.
Chiller gyapon mo. Whereas sa katong old curriculum, murag downgrade ni gamay kaysa ninyo. If ever mag-masters mo, masters gym dito. Ana siya. And then, muna, ang K to 12 gipatupad no sa na si President kisa man si Noynoy Aquino. And then the Republic Act for that, the law for that is 10157. So para dili ninyo makalimtan ang law, let's try to add 10157. Sige. Open your microphone. 1 plus 0.
One,
Plus 6.
1.
1.
Okay.
plus
1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 5,
6.
6.
6
Six.
yes. Okay. Ay, 10157 man dito eh. 10533 day, sorry. 10157 is kindergarten. Kalimot ko. 10533 di ay ang K to 12. Sige, change your schema. Okay. So balik ta. 1 plus 0, 1. Plus 5,
6.
plus 3,
9.
plus 3.
12.
So mo
12.
ng K to 12. 10533. So no, shortcut po
Okay.
na siya, 10533. So kung yung tag 10157, under man sana sa K to 12, which is kindergarten 10157. Okay? So kana 10533 for K to 12 law. Okay, sige, padayon.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So now let's continue sa ato ang discussion. The next strategy is adaptability. Na ba ko'y natawag gani ha? Nga mo basa or wala pa?
Wala pa, Claire.
Okay. Okay, kindly
Next.
read Miss Langido.
So, adaptability refers to the ability to adapt systems, thinking, and behaviors to the prevailing cultural environment. So, na-discuss na natin yung adaptability mo. Adapt ka sa prevailing means current nga cultural environment, kung unsay lang thinking, kung unsay lang mga behaviors nga gipambuhat. I-adapt ka.
Okay, thank you, Miss Langido. So, kaning adaptability is nabalik-balik naman jud ni siya na word kay na-discuss na pud ni siya sa mga previous reporters. And I know nga nakasabot na mo kung unsa ning meaning sa adaptability. So, mo proceed ta sa next slide. So here, another attitudes of becoming a global competent are openness, respect for diversity, and global mindedness. So the first one is openness. So who can read? Ay, ako lang say basa. Isa, wait. Sir. Openness toward people from other cultural backgrounds. So why do you think that we have to be open with the cultural backgrounds of other people? So who can answer the question? Again, why do we need to be open to the cultural backgrounds of other people? Okay, Miss Sandot.
Okay, Claire. We have to be open with the cultural backgrounds of others in order for us to respect and understand why they are doing such behavior and attitudes. And also, being open to the cultural backgrounds of others makes us kind of knowledgeable enough on kanang other their means or other practices na ilang gibuhat.
Uh, th- Thank you, Miss Sandot. So openness. So it is very important that sa giingon ni Miss Sandot na we have to be open for us to be knowledgeable sa mga culture sa cultural backgrounds sa ato ang mga ma-encounter na mga tao. Next is respect. So who can read and give or expound the meaning of respect? Okay, Miss Gutierrez.
Okay, so respect. Respect consists of a positive regard for someone based on judgment of intrinsic worth. So for me, nahulog sad ani nga mindset no ang cultural relativism that we need to respect or understand in our own terms the diversity among people. So before ta mo judge before ta mo judge towards other people, we need to respect them based on their intrinsic worth. We don't judge them based on their kanang unsay lang gipanulot, unsay lang gipangasulti. We need to have na gani tayo murag intuition or kanang thoughts about them nga kanang positive regards na we don't need to kanang nigtan-aw na to nila dili kay dayon ta mo judge directly, instead mo build ta og mindset nga uh, we need to look at that person positively, dili ta mo develop og prejudice or kanang stereotype. We need to have respect.
Okay, thank you, Miss Gutierrez. So, sakto si Miss Gutierrez that we must show respect sa every individuals nga ato ang mamit kay we have differences on cultures and as well as beliefs. So, next is ang global mindedness. Okay, so how for a while. So, who can read the definition of global mindedness? Okay, Miss Kabusa. Miss Kabusa.
Okay, so global mindedness is defined as a worldview in which one see him or herself connected to the community and feels a sense of responsibility for its members. Am I audible?
Yes, same.
Hello?
Yes, Miss Cindy, madungog ra ka.